You are now streaming worldwide on RadioOnFire.com and the Radio on Fire app.
Welcome back to the Don McKay Show. Glad to have you here. I really don't know the words for this next story. We'll talk about Bubba Wallace, the lone African-American race car driver, NASCAR. Bubba Wallace recently sat down with Don Lemon of CNN, and he wanted to respond to claims that the rope found in the NASCAR garage was a hand pull and not a noose. People compared him to Jesse Smollett, who last year committed a hoax and a lie. People compared Bubba Wallace to Jesse Smollett because Jesse Smollett set the stage, so to speak, for this type of behavior. He's not the first person. Smollett wasn't the first person to lie. And one of the unfortunate things with Pinocchio, little boy that cried wolf, is that when real situations happen, people tend to think that it's not true. Because in most recent memory, Jesse Smollett, black man, lied for fame. Bubba Wallace does not need to lie. Unlike Jesse Smollett, Bubba Wallace Jesse Smollett had fame, but Bubba Wallace is a bigger name. Let me say that. Okay? So, when we had not seen the noose, the rope, I think that people could consider it was a hand pull. Maybe he read it the wrong way. Right? That's what people, I was thinking. Maybe he misread the situation. Maybe we're hypersensitive right now, and because of all we've gone through, and every rope looked like a noose, but it could be, perceived to be something else. That's what I thought initially. On the show, the CNN show with Don Lemon, the interview, Bubba Wallace said it was a straight up noose. And non-believers talked about him online. They said negative things. He stated, Don, the image that I have seen of what was hanging in my garage is not a garage pull. I've been racing all my life. We've raced out of hundreds of garages that never had garage pulls like that. People that want to call it a garage pull and pull out old videos and photos of knots as their evidence, go ahead. From the evidence that I have, it's a straight up noose. Now, the FBI stated that it was a noose over and over again. NASCAR leadership stated it was a noose. I can confirm that. I actually got evidence of what was hanging in my garage over my car around my pit crew to confirm that it was a noose. Never seen anything like it. As I said, Bubba Wallace got backlash surrounding the situation. Backlash is going to always be there. He is an activist. He's someone who was pushing for the removal of Confederate flags from NASCAR. Does not matter that they had facts, evidence, photo evidence. People are going to Photoshop it to make me look like a bad person. At the end of the day, I will always have haters, Bubba Wallace said. I will always have motivators to go out there and dethrone me from the pedestal that I am on. So he's acknowledging people could be hating. But he did say that this will not break me. None of the allegations of being a hoax will break me or tear me down. It will piss me off, absolutely. But that only fuels the competitive drive in me to shut everybody up. He is no Jussie Smollett. Let me say that. Racial tensions have run high since the latest string of police officers and white supremacists, ingrates, murdered unarmed black people continuously. Now, today, NASCAR released a photo of the garage pole that was fashioned into a noose. So yes, it was used as a garage pole. Not going to argue that. But it was a noose. Somebody was trying to be slick. Now, whether this noose was directed specifically at Bubba Wallace remains to be seen. Because even though the noose had been there since October, that does not mean it's not a noose. Okay? Confederate flags have been there. Does that mean that a Confederate flag specifically is aimed in the face of Bubba Wallace? No. But we know what the Confederate flag represents. And don't give me that crap about heritage. It represents anarchy. It represents treason within this country. Now, if your heritage is treasonous, then so be it. But that doesn't mean that it has to be represented at NASCAR or any other sporting event. So, yes, it was used as a garage pole, fashioned by some idiot as a noose, and it was done before Bubba Wallace got the garage. But that does not mean that it is not a noose. You clearly can see that it is. Someone was trying to be cheeky. Somebody was trying to be slick. Somebody was trying to be smart. Not a hoax. Not a hoax at all. It's clearly a noose. So, investigation happened, and they're saying because it was used as a garage pole, you can pull down something with that, but it is tied and fashioned as a noose. NASCAR President Steve Phelps said that they conducted a thorough sweep of all 29 tracks where they race, and 1,684 garage stalls. They found only 11 total ropes that had a pull-down rope tied in a knot and just one noose. The one in Bubba Wallace's garage. So, anyone that would suggest this is a hoax, it is offensive. It is offensive. People think that you can just say anything. Trump has people thinking that you can just say anything and be damned with facts. Just celebrating ignorance. The initial concern was someone was trying to retaliate against Bubba Wallace, NASCAR's only black full-time driver, for his recent social activism. That's what the concern was. He has been outspoken, and I'm sure that he's going to continue to be across the country supporting Black Lives Matter. Some people don't like that. Some people don't understand the simplicity of the statement that Black Lives Matter, right? Never does the word Black Lives Matter mean that any other life doesn't matter. It means simply that black people are being killed and these lives matter. That's what it means. But I'm sure that Bubba Wallace is going to continue to demand reforms that address the systemic racism that exists. Wallace told Don Lemon earlier this month that he thought that NASCAR should take the step of banning the Confederate flag from all of its events. A few days later, NASCAR did that. Some people are going to continue to push conspiracy theories to accuse Bubba Wallace of staging the whole event. Not sure why. What does he gain from doing that? Right? Now, maybe if prior to him speaking about the Confederate flag being removed, then we saw the news right before that, and then he said, I think the Confederate flag should be removed. Maybe you might have some ground, but when you see the noose, when you see the rope, if you're talking about it being staged, and you are acknowledging that it is a noose, right? But he didn't do to Jesse Smollett. He didn't hang it around his neck. But it's very simple-minded people, the uneducated, the ones that Trump loves, that will believe this is not a noose. So some other people pointing to the fact that NASCAR fans may not, for the most part, watch Don Lemon, CNN. They may not watch The View. And I do think that there's always the need, the desire to expand the base of NASCAR. So I think that is the reason, part of the reason why. And then another thing is he wants to go where he feels comfortable. He's not going to want to go where he's going to be attacked per se. Some of the conservative outlets may attack him. But the president, NASCAR now kind of backtracking and saying that he spoke too passionately and it's not really a nuisance, a rope, it's garage pull, not a garage pull, whatever about that. But you can clearly see what it is. Now, you may want to debate whether Bubba Wallace put the news there, which he didn't. But if in your mind you want to debate that and use that conspiracy theory, you cannot dispute the fact that it is a noose. It's not, you can't dispute it, clearly. But some people will continue to try. But you just look foolish. You just look foolish. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at The Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire. We'll be back with more stories and more of the program after this.